And welcome everyone to this first time ever video blog for All Is Fair in Dust and Air and Broken Hammer Games. I'd like to thank those of you who are joining us today, and those that recognize something in the background behind me, that is our new external cathedral image that just got done last month. So it's kind of a little bit of a preview here for those of you that joined us today. I'd like to thank you. So we got some things to go through, so let's get started right now. And I'm going to bring up our blog and what we're talking about this month. So first of all, I'm going to do an art report. Art in the month of February, we had quite a lot of ramp ups going on. A lot of activity was happening. I'm going to do some teasers and a few things for everybody to show you kind of some of the stuff we were doing. And first of all was Georgie was working on the thugs. And you can see this in our blog report. There's one little small image that I used, but now you're going to see the full big size image. So oops. There we go. So these are our new thug update images. The images that we had before were a lot more simpler, kind of more basic. And yeah, they just did not quite have the same like texturing, shading as Georgie's did. So what we've done is we've updated a lot of those. And this is not done yet. I believe there's another step Georgie's going to be doing before he's finished, but it was a major amount of stuff he did get done on it within the month of February. And moving on, we are going to go to the Accomplice. Now, this is another overhaul image. The Accomplice image that we had was a little bit, it had some little issues. It had some angles that were not right. I mean, it was good. It was a good stand-in. It worked for the time, but we needed a new updated image for the Accomplice going forward, at least before we go into full release for day 2. Now, right now, his condition is he's basically in engine ready, full set to go, full color. You may do a few more tweaks to that. I'm waiting on a response from Georgie on that right now, given the circumstances in Russia. Again, kind of up in the air how soon I'm going to hear back from him, but we're moving forward no matter what. What's happening right now on him is he's getting his expressions kind of worked on, and this is just an example of some of the expressions. There's actually a few more that get unfortunately cut off. He's not a really major character, but we needed some expressions, and we might extend another scene. We're talking back and forth between the writing and the testing and seeing if it might be better to do another scene with another choice point so you have more interactions with his character. That's a little spoiler to come. Not really a spoiler, but you'll see eventually. This was all being done by Ingrid and Michelle Winks. They both did some wonderful work. Ingrid, she pretty much did the model. Winks came in, did the coloring to it, which went very, very well. And Ingrid also, in the month of February, she was working on some of our red shirt guards. Now this is early work in progress, Cathedral Guard. I think one of the things is kind of coming across a little, because it's actually zoomed out. This is a really massive image, and I've zoomed it out, but the lines are not coming in very well. If you zoom in, it sees better. But yeah, this is our new updated Cathedral Guard. It's based on Cathedral Guard. Well, it's actually based on a Barony Guard that we had. That the more we looked at it, the more we were like, it doesn't quite fit what we want for the Baronies. So we're bringing this in. Line art, as you can see, is done overall, and we're going to be switching that over real soon to color and such going into March. We're not expecting it to take very long. I mean, there's not too much to this model. We also have another guard coming out that she just started working on, a Yeshin guard that we will see probably happening this month. So that is it for some of the art updates going forward. There is at least one more background that we're kind of going to be doing a little rework on. We're not expecting that to be super major. We have a lot of concepts and stuff ready on it to go. We're expecting that in March. We're really trying to shoot this for April to get day 2 out. But again, if we're not meeting the quality goals that we want for the art images, we will push back a tiny bit. But otherwise, we're not super worried about day 3 and day 4 and the others, just because a lot of content has been done for those already. So I think the most extra content that will need to be kind of reworked and redone is on the final little bit of the cathedral story, but that probably going to be into June and July at the latest. We do want to try to meet our deadline that we have for this. So anyways, moving into the writing. Now this is something I can talk personally. We've been testing and evaluating quite a few of the choice points in day 2. Day 2 is a little bit bigger beast. Day 1, for those that have played, I think the average play time that we ran into was, depending on how fast people read, it's between an hour to 2 hours, give or take, of content on day 1. Day 2 is going to be a bit bigger because we do have 3 heroines that are interacting in day 3 versus day 1, which is like 2.5. So it's going to increase a bit more, which means it's a lot more content to do, and there's a few more choice points to add because we have the extra heroines that are coming in. So in total content, day 2 is probably the biggest. Maybe day 2 and day 3 trade off a little bit on how big they are, just depending on how much interactions. Day 3 has actually grown a lot over the past year, which is really good, because day 3 was originally, when it was the first script was written by Griffos, which we're all like really grateful to Griffos. He really hashed out the script, the initial backbone of the script, based on the outlines and stuff that I made. But day 3 was a little small. We did not have a whole lot that happened on day 3, and so, well, we had to change. We had to kind of make things a little bit more interesting, because it was a little bit too fast. It was like, we want to let the story tell itself. We want to let the story come out. And again, that comes into asking questions like, do you extend a sequence? Do you shorten a sequence? Will it be better if you add more here, add more there? So we did a lot of that work already. So that's already in the pipe. That's already good, set to go. Day 3 just has couple of red shirts, and then one major model has expressions that needs to be done. It's not a huge amount of content to do, so our artists, we're working as fast as we can to get our artists on that and get it out as fast as possible. If you hear a noise in the background, apologies, but kind of working in the middle of the day when my wife's doing things and other things. So we're a small dev, so stuff happens. Yay for green screens. It's actually a mess back here. So anyways, moving on to bug testing, we did find some little possibilities of maybe we can get full screen fixed. Now this is a big maybe, because we gotta look at how the game is going to work with it, and if it will work with this workaround, because some people are reporting they did get it to work by doing it, and other people are reporting it did not work. So I'm just putting it as a maybe right now. We're going to be testing it probably into the month of March and see where we're at. Again, we're kind of at the mercy of Tyranno. Tyranno has been really good. They've been really excellent. They've been very helpful, but they're also in the middle of a major engine overhaul. They're redoing the entire Tyranno engine. Long story short, somebody else is using their back end, and they don't like them doing that. So it's a little bit of a industry thing where these other companies are trying to get rich off each other. And so, well, yeah, we're rooting for Tyranno completely. We've had great great conversations with them, and we really appreciate Tyranno developing a visual novel engine which is not only like simple, easy to use, it's very powerful too. I mean, you can drag and drop, you can preview things on the fly. It has a debugging mode, which has been very handy. You don't have a lot of these features in some of the older engines. The older engines are just more like code it out, code it out, code it out, and then hope you get it right, and you have to debug yourself and go back and forth. So yeah, we're certainly rooting for them to get that done. We haven't had an ETA so much as yet. I know some of the conversations that we had with them were hinting that they were trying to maybe see if get it out as fast as possible, but their team is working hard on that right now. So we're trying to not poke them with a stick too much. It's like, hey, we need our bugs fixed. When if they overhaul the engine, then all the bugs that they'd fix now are going to be eventually fixed in that. So yeah, the higher priority for them is honestly, yeah, I would do it too. It's to get that engine updated, get it out there, so then they can fix all these things in one batch instead of having to individually fix everybody's game. So thankfully that's coming around. Lastly, as we close for the month of February, we are happy to report that we did receive our first funds from Steam after we launched on the 12th of last month. So it kind of took like an extra month for them to get the funds to you. It's not that we didn't make the minimum amount of funding in January. We did. It's just that Steam system, they require extra month to kind of get it shifted over. So we just had to wait longer, but we're ecstatic. I mean, we're very elated to see the first fruits of our efforts, and we can't thank everybody enough for joining in with us on this adventure. And we've been watching the wish list counts, and they've been steadily rising, and we've been very excited about that, because that means there's a lot of people that are watching us. There's a lot of people on the fence that are like, ooh, hey, what is that? We're kind of interested in what you guys are about, but we're not ready to hop into the pool yet. So there are those of you that jumped in right away and just says, oh, that looks awesome, I'm jumping in. So you guys, we thank you enough for being the early adopters. We definitely look forward to having you along this ride for the rest of the journey. And for those that are waiting to hop in, well, anytime is fine. The pool is nice and cool. So anyways, as far as going to other platforms, just a quick note before I wrap up. That's, as I've said in the past, after early access is finished, so after we get early access out, yes, we're going to be probably trying to launch it on some other platforms and kind of expand it, especially iOS, Android, try and get a phone version of the game out. We're going to have to see, because we haven't tested that yet. And also, if you are a Mac user, please shoot us a message if you would like to test for us, because we're looking for Mac users right now. It's funny, like everybody that was a Mac user that we had in the past for testing, either they moved on in life or they don't have Macs anymore. So we're kind of like, we need Mac users. So definitely appreciate it. Anybody has a Mac, contact us. Broken Hammer Games. Go contact us at feedback@brokenhammergames.com, and we will get right back to you. So with that said, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the skies. Bye. bet you thought I forgot about the giveaway. Well, technically I kind of did for a second there. But yeah, anyways, here it is, end of the video. I know I made you wait. I know I made you put up with everything. You can think of me as one of those really mean announcers on TV that kind of puts off the great announcement after the commercial. So you sat through your commercial. Now, if you have a friend or something interested in the game, here you go. Here's your one-time giveaway key. I'm not sure if we're going to do this every month. This is just a special video log, so here you go. Enjoy. All is fair in dust and air. Thank you.